What's going on, guys? Stefan here with you, S&E's Garage. We're out here in New Jersey on a frigid cold night. We got our wood burner burning back here, but more importantly, we got our 06 IS350 behind us, and today we're going to be giving this car a new voice. So for those of you that are following this channel and the build, you'll know that we are going with an OEM Plus Ultimate Daily Driver build with this car. So we've already gone ahead and upgraded to the VLAND LED headlights. We went ahead around back. We also did the VLAND LED taillights. Inside, we went ahead and did the Grom V-Line 2 Apple CarPlay Android Auto head unit. It actually integrates into the OEM navigation system, so it's completely plug and play and looks stock. And we also did an F-Sport intake to go ahead and give it some induction noise, but we're not done yet. So we liked the Tanabe Revel Medallion Exhaust that we put on our GSF so much that we went ahead and reached out to those guys and we asked them what they had for this car. And they went ahead and sent me one. And I'm gonna show you what we got here. We're gonna go ahead and do an unboxing. This is a Revel Medallion by Tanabe axle back exhaust here for the IS250 and 350 from, I want to say it's 2006 to 2013. It's for the second generation IS. Yep, 06 to 13. Part number is, let's see if we can find it right there, T70113AR. So we are going to go ahead and do an unboxing of this exhaust today, and then we're going to go ahead and install it. So the first most important thing I think we need to do is capture a cold start sound here of the factory exhaust. It's very underwhelming. It leaves a lot to be desired, believe it or not. And because this car is so old, the factory tips are dingy and stained, and it would just take so much work to bring them back to make them look decent. So why not put some new mufflers on this thing, make it look and sound the part. So let me get you on the tripod. We'll just raise this door up a little bit. We'll do a quick cold start, blip the throttle a couple times, and then we'll get it up in the air and unbox that exhaust. So that is what you can expect here out of the stock exhaust on an 06 to 12 Lexus IS350 or 250. So now that we know what the before is, let's go ahead, get it set up on the lift. Let's unbox that nice new exhaust and take it from there. So one thing I can tell you from the last exhaust system that we got from these guys is they package these extremely well. And I want to show you guys the lengths that I have to go through here to go ahead and get this package opened. Now we are being a little barbaric here, but you'll see, nonetheless, they package these extremely well. And then they even, inside of the box, put all kinds of provisions here to make sure that your exhaust is not going to get damaged or otherwise dinged up in shipping. This is going to be the installation packet here. They even sent us a super nice license plate frame that we are going to happily install on the back of this car. I got one of these guys. Kaleidoscope. These look like bags of Coke. Not that I would know what that would look like. And then here are the main pieces of this exhaust. Let's go ahead and lay them out. So these guys really hooked us up. They sent us this awesome Revel banner. That's gonna go right up there on the wall of our pole barn. It's gonna look super nice. We're gonna go ahead and rock this plate frame. We even got some stickers to throw up on the wall here. So I'm super glad that they sent us this stuff. Let's go ahead, cut these straps. So let's get the cardboard off of this exhaust and let's take a good look at it. This goes back to what I said earlier with their packaging. They do not mess around. They do not want this thing getting damaged on you in any way, shape, or form. This exhaust is so pretty. I almost feel bad putting it under an 18-year-old car that I'm going to be driving in the salt. So let's take a look at what we got here. Number one, the fit and finish on these is absolutely beautiful. The same welds that we saw on the system that we installed on our GSF back in the day can be found here. These welds are absolutely beautiful. And what you'll see here is the factory super restrictive Y pipe is going to be replaced with this setup. So if we go ahead and come under the car here, you'll see right here there's this weird pancake. That's going to be deleted and we're going to have much better exhaust flow through that. Now, one thing I do like about this system is they leave this factory resonator in place. Contrary to what you may have been told or what you may believe, a resonator will not quiet your exhaust down. All it is doing is it is looking for a very specific frequency and it's canceling it out. And that frequency with these V6s is rasp. If you delete this and put freer flowing mufflers on it, your exhaust is going to be a raspy mess. You'll sound like a V6 Civic flying around, or worse than that, you'll sound like a Nissan VQ, and nobody wants to sound like that, trust me. So I am glad that they go ahead and leave that factory resonator in place. And in the future, if we do decide to go with a mid pipe, which would be from here to here, we will definitely go with a resonated version to, again, tune out that rasp. So now that we see what's going on here, let's get you set up on the tripod. Let's get some tools and let's show you exactly how we're going to be doing this. Okay guys, so we're going to start back here at the business end of this exhaust. From here back, like I said, is where we're going to be working. And these are the only two bolts that we need to go ahead and remove to get the factory exhaust off. Now these are what they call a spring clamp here. So it's basically the only thing that keeps this section of exhaust together on the donut gasket is the tension of this spring. So these bolts should come right out. This is an 18-year-old car that has been driven in the salt belt, so we're gonna give it every opportunity to come loose that we can and spray it with some lubricant here, or penetrating oil. And we're also going to go ahead and spray these hangers. I'm gonna show you a special tool that I use that I will leave in the video description below to make removing these hangers a breeze. I'm just looking around the exhaust now, trying to find all the hangers that I can. It looks like there's going to be one up here, one here. So there's two on the back sides of each muffler towards the bumper. We're just gonna oil them up. And then when we get to that point, we'll show you exactly what we need to do to remove them. So let's go ahead. These look like, I'm gonna go with 14. So let's get a 14 millimeter socket and ratchet. Let's break them loose and we'll take it from there. So like I said, these should come out relatively easily. Now the thing with these is you want to loosen them evenly. Okay, battery in my tool is actually going dead here. But you'll see, even for an 18-year-old car, these came right apart. So now let's go ahead and get my hanger pliers. Again, I'll leave a set in the video description below, and let's start popping some hangers. All right, so before we pull the hangers off, we're just gonna go ahead and support this exhaust so it doesn't drop. We are going to be using the Lang 436A exhaust hanger pliers. Again, I'll leave some of these in the video description below. Instead of fighting with these things, it's literally that easy. The hangers will come literally right off. It makes this job that much easier. It takes all of the guesswork and swearing and fighting with these hangers completely out of the equation. And now we're just going to go ahead and flop them up and out of the way. Like so. Now we are going to come around back to the back side of the car, and we're going to get the hangers on the back of the muffler. Again, they are going to be right here, basically in between the muffler and the bumper. And you'll see those pliers with a little bit of finagling of the bumper still fit right where they need to go, which is a beautiful thing. Let's get in here on this side. We're going to come in from back here. Man, that's a good spot right there. That muffler is now ready to drop. Now again, we did spray these down before off camera. Now I need to make sure this exhaust isn't going to come crashing down when we take this last hanger here off, so I'm going to try to hold it as I do this. Okay. And that right there is our last hanger. So now it looks like it's going to stay where it's at. Let me go put these pliers away, and what we're going to do is go ahead and lower the pull jack to drop the exhaust down. Right now this pull jack is hurting me more than it's helping me, but you'll see we went ahead, we got this axle back section down. So here's what you're left with. There's your hanger setup for the driver's side. Here is your hanger setup for the passenger side. And then this is that donut gasket right here that's going to go ahead and get reused with the factory hardware. So let's go ahead, let's get the side of the exhaust that's going to have the Y pipe, and let's go ahead and get it up and in. So one thing that we are going to do, that I will leave in the video description below as well, is we're going to take some of this white lithium grease, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to lube up our hangers. That way we're not sitting here fighting with exhaust hangers while we're trying to put this thing together. We want these things to slide right in, and in my experience, white lithium grease is the best stuff to use for that. So again, we're just gonna go ahead, lube up our hangers here, like so. We can grab our nice, shiny new exhaust and attempt to get it into place. Now, I am going to try to use this pull jack to assist me a little bit here, but I don't want it to get me wedged up and in a jam like I kind of did before. So we're just gonna slow and steady get this kind of into place. You know what, that's gonna go right here. It's gonna come here. Let's just slide these back hangers in. There's one. And there's two. So the back hangers are in for the muffler. And now We can swing these into place. Like so. And again, you'll see just how much that white lube helps slide those hangers on. They literally just went in like butter. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did over on the passenger side. We're gonna go ahead and slide the rearmost hangers on. Okay, and then I'm just gonna move my pull jack over here. Now, if you don't have a pull jack and you're doing this on the ground, that's totally okay. You can use a floor jack. Just go ahead and make sure you put a piece of wood or something on that floor jack so you don't damage your nice, shiny new exhaust. But that should put us in the ballpark of where we need to be. Let's go ahead and get the hardware they gave us and get it started as well. So they're going to include this nice exhaust gasket and then some grade 8 bolts here to go ahead and install the driver's side muffler onto their Y pipe. So what I like to do here is this. I'll pull this away a little bit here. I'll slide this in and I'll use this bolt to kind of hang the gasket, and then I'll take my washer and my lock washer here. I'll just get this started so we don't drop it. And now that we've done that, we can literally just go ahead and rotate this gasket up. And I'm gonna lower this ever so slightly just to get these to line up. Okay, this bolt is going to slide through. Like so. And now we can get this guy out of the way. No longer needed. And again, washer, lock washer. Most important part of this whole process is drop the nut on the ground as you're trying to get it started. If you don't do that, you're gonna have exhaust leaks. Drop the nut. Like we just did, make sure you drop it. Let's go ahead and start these spring bolts now. Now, like we said earlier, with loosening these, when you tighten them, you don't wanna just send one home. You want to go back and forth. So let's just get this. All right, so now we got those hangers on. We got that on. We can manipulate these a little bit to center this. But let's take a step back now and let's just kind of look at how this looks. This side is actually perfectly centered, and wow, that side looks really good too. Okay, that usually doesn't happen. I guess Revel Medallion, Tanabe, you guys did a great job fabbing this exhaust up, because I don't have to adjust anything. I can run these right down now. Let's go ahead. These are going to be, I'm gonna go with 15 mils. Yes, let's grab 15s and let's tighten them up. Turns out I lied, they're 16s. Shame on me. And this install is that easy. We are done. Let's go ahead, let's cut this styrofoam off of this muffler. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a microfiber rag with some brake clean, and anywhere that I left fingerprints, I'm gonna wipe off, because if the exhaust gets hot with that oily residue on there, it is going to leave a stain, and you don't wanna stain your beautiful new stainless steel exhaust. So we're just gonna wipe these pipes down. I'm gonna get that foam off, and we'll lower you down and fire it up. So the first start for you is also going to be the first start for me. I have not heard this yet. Let's go ahead and fire it up. And that is the perfect amount of grunt that I was looking for out of a daily driver. Just enough to be heard. Hopefully it ain't gonna drone, but we're gonna go ahead, we'll give it a couple revs. Before we do that, let's just jack it up again and check for leaks. So the best way that I've found to check for exhaust leaks is to just take your hand and cup it around the flange without touching it. You just do one of these, then you feel for air. And if you don't have any air escaping, you're good. And in this case, we're good. There's nothing going on here. Let's see what we got. A 2-finger gap here. We got about a 2-finger gap there, so everything here looks lined up. Let's lower it down and give it some revs. That is the perfect mix. Jesus. That is the perfect mix of exhaust note and intake sound out of this car. I am super happy with how this came out. All right, guys, so it's the following morning here in our IS350 with squeaky brakes and our new to us Revel Medallion Exhaust. And I'm gonna go ahead and take off out of my driveway now, and there's one thing I want you to notice, and that is just how tame this exhaust is. It's just enough to where you know it's there. And for the theme that we are going with, the ultimate daily driver, that is exactly what you want. You don't want something that's going to be overbearing and obnoxious. And that's one of the reasons that we took the Revel Medallion that we had on our GSF off and put a valved exhaust on that would allow me to make the car obnoxious and rowdy, because I don't drive that car every day. And when I do drive it, I want it to be obnoxious and rowdy. So I have the option now with that car to switch back and forth between quiet and loud, because we went with a different route. But for a daily driver, for a budget exhaust, and for something that's not going to drone, kick your ears ass basically, this Revel Medallion is perfect for that. Because I'm cruising, I'm doing like 30 miles an hour right now at around 1500 RPM, and you can barely even tell the exhaust is back there. It gives you a little bit of an added bark. But that's really, like I said, that was what we were looking for. So let's go ahead and do one quick pull for you here. The engine's still kind of cold. Now we're cruising at about 50 miles an hour. And again, you hear it a little bit when you get on the throttle, but otherwise it's nice and tame. All right, guys, we're going to try to do a wide open pull here for you before out of first gear, and we're just sliding again. This car is, believe it or not, got some good power, and it's a little slick here, and this is the second time I tried to do it. He just blew the tires off. All right, guys, so let's get down into second gear here and try to do a quick little pull for you. We're gonna start it right at around 4,000 RPM. Again, we're sliding all over the place. So you can hear the exhaust. It's definitely there. It adds a nice bark, but it's not overwhelming. Let's go ahead, let's get back to the house. I'll set you up on the tripod. Now the engine's warm, I can afford to rev it a couple times for you. We'll hit the limiter once or twice, let you get a full, experience of how the exhaust is going to sound throughout the rev band, and then we'll go ahead and call this video complete. gave you a nice little pop there on D-cell. Overall, I'm super happy with how this exhaust sounds. It is perfect for a daily driver, and I think we're gonna get a lot of smiles per gallon and a lot of years of enjoyment out of this system. So if this video helped you pick an exhaust for your IS250 or 350 second generation, please like, share, subscribe. Definitely check out the guys over at Revel Medallion. Their products are top notch, and all I run is top shelf on my cars, and as you can see, this is perfect. So we'll see you guys next time.